And, you know, everyone asks this time of year, if you're out and about in the cold, are you more susceptible to getting the flu? And if you haven't gotten the flu shot yet, are you too late? These are good questions. We're going to ask our next guest for some answers. Joining us to talk about the importance, especially for senior citizens, a manager of clinical education for Masonicare, Elaine Laydon, with us. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Matt.
And you know, it's you sit there, you look at the calendar, you go, oh, it's late January already. It's going to be spring before you know it. Too late to get the flu shot?
No, absolutely not. Actually, a lot of people are seeing cases out there of the flu, but it's not too late. I would suggest encourage anybody to get out there and get the flu shot.
Especially, and this is in your wheelhouse being with Masonicare, senior citizens. A bigger struggle to get them to get a shot?
Yeah, I have to say, senior care is what we do at Masonicare. We're the largest nonprofit provider of services in the state of Connecticut, so we kind of make it our job to make sure we get the word out. And honestly, it's really critical that people understand how important it is to go ahead and get that shot, because you can prevent a lot of complications.
One of the things that seems to me to dominate the headlines when it comes to the flu shot are misconceptions. People are, to me, many people are afraid to get it for I think, the wrong reasons.
Yeah, well, I have to say, first of all, the number one thing that we hear is that you can get the flu from the flu shot.
Which is a complete myth.
Complete myth. You absolutely cannot. It's not a live virus, so you can get some area swelling, some redness, that sort of thing. Even a mild temperature we see once in a while. But you cannot get the flu from the flu shot. I would say most people are familiar with the flu, right? Everybody either knows somebody that has had the flu or a family member or whatever. And just to go over symptoms briefly, you know, sore throat, body ache, fever, you're feeling lousy, very sudden onset.
It kicks you in the tail.
It sure does.
Yeah,
it sure does.
And again, and it's easy to think if you have the common cold, obviously this is a big time of year for that, but you know, how do you separate the cold from the flu? The symptoms are really elevated, and usually at that point shouldn't be taking some over-the-counter medicine. You should be seeing a doctor.
Well, that's exactly right. I mean, unless you're getting a flu swab from a physician or a provider's office, chances are you're just going by symptoms. But symptoms can be enough.
Absolutely. Those are the warning signs.
Yeah, so you're staying in bed, you're definitely keeping yourself home, plenty of fluids, rest, that sort of thing.
And finally, we talked about this earlier, you cannot get the flu by being out in the cold. I mean, you are more susceptible to wearing down your body, but you need to actually be exposed to the virus.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I would say, you know what, even in a healthcare environment, hold off on visiting some of those family and friends if you're showing signs and symptoms of flu. If you need a flu vaccine, there are a number of places across Connecticut that you can get a vaccine.
Especially if you are older, or especially if you have a child at home, especially a young child.
I have to say that over 65 population, when we look at the data last year, about 154 people passed from flu, and I have to be honest with you, about 70% of those were over the age of 65. Really critical that you get out there.
Lots more information if you want to hear from Elaine. We'll hook you up via fox61.com. Elaine Laydon, thanks for coming in.
Thank you so much.
Nice to see you.